perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again another day, committed to being your consumer advocate, all about helping you understand your buying decisions, making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to serve the community as your consumer advocate. Reach out to the hotline. Anything that you hear about today or you'd like to comment on, it's an off-air number. You can call us at 813-750-0550. 813-750-0550. That's our consumer advocate hotline. You can also hit us up on the website, consumerqb.com, at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page out there as well on Facebook. And let's make our introductions. Paulee Bowin, welcome to the Consumer Quarterback Show. Welcome in.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about what you're going to speak about today.
Well, I have a couple books coming up. They will be launched on November 19th at the Tampa Club. So very excited about that. One's a children's book and one is for women, empowering women and becoming stronger and not giving up on your dreams.
Nice. I like that. That's a good lesson for everyone. So you're an author and an artist. Paulee's Art by the Sea.
Yes.
Very cool. So a couple of books coming out very soon. Interesting stuff. And Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Welcome back, sir.
Thanks, Brandon. Always a pleasure to be on your show. And I'm going to tell you today and argue why shooting is probably the number one sport out there.
Shooting is the number one sport. Awesome. I like that. It's exciting to shoot a firearm, right?
Always exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great way to defend the household, defend the family. And, of course, today, now more than ever, seems like you need it. We also we got Doug Levi joining us, the insurance quarterback, Strategic Insurance. He's going to be joining us here in just one moment. Before we go to the phones, though, I want to thank one of our sponsors, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning, the official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please support our show partners. We've got 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice. And if you're a fan of 860 The Answer and everything that our station stands for, please support our show partners because they do a great job. Here's a great example. It's a woman-owned business right here in Tampa Bay, Jade's Premium Quality Cleaning. They're also COVID-19 certified for infection prevention and control. Check them out on Facebook. Also, they're offering $15 off for any of our radio show family out there. And as you know, I'm the owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. A couple of hot listings here. 13204 Fawn Lily Drive. This is a property out in Riverview, Florida. Beautiful property that just hit the market and is a gorgeous home. This is a large home. Lots of square footage. You've got a water feature in the back as well. 13204 Fawn Lily Drive, right out in Riverview, East Hillsborough County. We also have a new vacant land listing. As you know, I've got about 15 or 20 vacant land listings available. 5832 Beverly Drive is available as well. This property is waterfront. Build your dream home right on the waterfront here in Tampa Bay. Check out the beautiful photography, compliments of Fabre Frameworks if you're watching our stream show. Or maybe you're checking us out on Apple TV, Amazon, or Roku. You can see us on Binge Networks there. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, let's go right to the phones here. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. A lot happening in the tropics right now, Doug.
Brandon, always good to be here, man. We're knee-deep in hurricane season for sure, so it's a lot going on in the tropics. We have Hurricane Sally out there that's blowing around and probably going to be making landfall somewhere between Alabama and perhaps Mississippi, perhaps Louisiana, and maybe even part of the Panhandle. So we're keeping our eyes close on that one right now.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. And what can our listeners do to be prepared? We kind of hear these different things happening out there, and it's affecting us. What can we do to prepare right now? So
this is the time of year for sure where people have their eyes more so than at other times of the year when the weather is beautiful and it's 75 and sunny. One of the biggest things to highlight, Brandon, is flood insurance. I was looking before our show today just in terms of some things with regards to Hurricane Sally. They're saying that Sally specifically could dump up to 30 inches of rain within a 24-hour period. So a great question to just ask yourself is, hey, do I have flood insurance? A lot of people in Florida don't, believe it or not. Some people are required to have it, but there's a lot of people that don't have it. And great time of year to get it. we can do flood insurance on what's known as a preferred program. It costs anywhere from $200 to $500 a year if you're not in a quote-unquote high-risk flood zone. So that would definitely be a big takeaway for everyone. We're always happy to help people. You can check us out at TampaBayInsurance.com. You can live chat with us. You can put your info in. We'll have one of our agents give you a call and help you out with that.
Yeah, and there's been some recent movements also on the changing flood zones. It seems like the flood zones change from time to time. What's that all about, Doug?
They do. And so this is an ongoing process. And, basically you've got the Army Corps of Engineers, which is part of the government. They'll come into an area and they'll sort of map an area, right? If you've ever heard of like a flood zone map or an area that is looked at for flood. And then they'll kind of give some indications of what a good base flood is. So, for example, if we say, hey, base flood in my area is 10 feet. Well, my house is below 10 feet. I'm in a higher risk, and I'm going to pay more for flood insurance. If it's over 10 feet, I'm in a good spot, right? They also then will do determinations based on their analysis and historical evidence and things like that and say maybe an area that wasn't a flood zone before, they'll pull out. Or maybe in an area that has not been in a flood zone now is. So really the best thing for people to do, if you've got any questions on flood insurance, you're not sure what you've got or where you're at or has my zone changed, again, contact us, reach out, and we can do a flood zone determination for you. We've got the software to do that, and we can let you know how to get you the best rates and best coverages out there.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Doug Levi here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Strategic Insurance is his company, and he's been a longtime friend of the program, and supporting the local economy by supporting this show is something that we depend on from our listeners, our viewers out there. Doug, now when you look at the other challenges across the country, there's wildfires out in California in the West, and when you think about what we've also been through with COVID-19, there's been challenges this year. So business owners, let's focus on the business owners for a moment. A lot of times when we pay our premiums for the year, we're forecasting that we're going to have X amount in sales. So I think some people may be surprised that they can go back to their policy makers and have that kind of written down to a certain extent. Correct?
Yeah, it's a great takeaway, Brandon, that we've talked about a few times, and I want to even just address what you hit on first. Is you've got historic wildfires in California. We see there's just all sorts of challenges the world's facing right now, right? And the insurance industry really is, and a lot of people don't understand this, it's really a global marketplace. So there can be an impact because of wildfires in California on reinsurance, which is insurance that insurance companies buy, which is a global marketplace, that can in some ways impact the cost of insurance in other parts of the country. That's not always a popular statement, but it's true. So again, that's why you want to be prepared and work with an agent that's most importantly going to do a policy review with you each year to make sure you're staying competitive, because there's so many changes in the marketplace. We're seeing on average our clients, or I shouldn't say our clients, but in the state of Florida, we're seeing rate increases right now on home insurance anywhere from 10 to 40%. That's huge. And we've got a process in place where we proactively contact our clients as well as shop the marketplace, and we'll make those recommendations. We just helped switch a client whose rate went, he lives in a nice house on the beach, high-end home. His rate went up $4,000. Well, we found him another option that actually lowered his rate about $2,000 from what he paid last year. Nice. So that's just an important FYI for the consumer out there is you got to have your eyes on this stuff. It's not fun and it's not easy to do. If you work with an agency like ours, we take that headache away from you. We help put the responsibility on us to shop, make sure you're getting best rates, best options. We have a process to do that each year, as well as a team of 17 to help do that. In terms of the business owners, this is big. A lot of business owners aren't aware of this, that your business insurance is rated likely off of either sales or payroll, depending on the industry and depending on your type of job, right? So what you were kind of alluding to is if sales have gone down, let's say you're a restaurant out there, and when you signed up for your insurance originally, you were saying, hey, I'm going to do $1 million or $2 million or $5 million, whatever the number is in sales. If that number's gone down quite a bit with COVID and just the state of the economy, you want to contact your insurance carrier now. Or again, give us a call and we could potentially look to remarket your account and switch now so you're not paying a higher rate than you need to. The flip side of this is true too, and this is important that people know, because the door swings both ways in a sense here. If you're in a business and you're growing, there are some businesses that are growing. Praise God for that, right? So, and you are based on sales or revenue, and you have a really good year, well, you could very well get an audit from the insurance company that says, hey, we thought your premium was going to be, $5,000, but now it may be $10,000 because you doubled your sales. So it's important to have an agent that's, again, being proactive, explaining these things to you, perhaps doing a mid-year audit with you, so you don't just get hit with a big bill.
Yeah, it's interesting. And sometimes we look at what's happening the global markets. We look at the geopolitical stuff happening, some great strides in terms of peace in the Middle East this week from President Trump, some really interesting stuff. So when we come back, I want to talk about a tweet that was recently fired out from Robert Reich. He was the labor secretary under the Clinton administration. Interesting take. Elon Musk, find out what his response is. And it speaks to capitalism. It speaks to the government. It speaks to, the climate that we're in, of course, in this texting, tweeting world that we live in. And also more from Doug Levi here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Coming up, Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. We're going to talk about protecting your right to carry concealed permits, self-defense, protecting the home. And also it's fun. It's a fun shooting experience that you can have as Florida Firearms Academy. Also, Paulee Bowin, she's an author and an artist here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. Plus, our feel-good story of the day, 12-year-old boy cured of sickle cell disease after stem cell transplant. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
My friends, when choosing a listing agent to sell your home, their track record is critically important. Dennis Prager here for Brandon and Lindsay Rhymes, owners of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Real Estate. They're consistently rated by the MLS in the top 1% of all Tampa Bay realtors, and that's a big deal. Brandon and Lindsay are always among the top realtors in the state. Call them today at 813-750-0550.
Find them at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or platinummvpteam.com.
My name is James DeJerome, and I produce the Consumer Quarterback Show for Brandon Rhymes. The Consumer Quarterback Show is a team, a group of like-minded professionals who partner together to provide our audience sound advice, knowledge, and information to make them wiser consumers. We work with all types of business owners and aggressively promote our local economy. We're currently conducting interviews for our expert contributors. If you own a business or know someone who would benefit from the exposure our show provides, please contact us at 813-750-0550 or online at consumerqb.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast here. Brandon Rhymes, Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace. That's what we've been doing for 7 years now on air here, serving the community, helping you understand your buying decisions, and making you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Giving a shout out to Golf Cart Depot, one of our show partners, local business, great company here in Tampa Bay, 2 locations. It's Golf Cart Depot, a.k.a. Discovery Golf Carts, right here in Tampa and Clearwater, discoverygolfcars.com. And also, I've got my beautiful color Williams red golf cart. I love taking the boys for a ride. When I say the boys, my 2 dogs. So we love having fun. The whole family enjoys it, and your family can too. Now, with COVID-19, they're offering to deliver these to your home, office, or a neutral spot, maybe the park, for example, if you want to take a test drive. So check them out, Golf Cart Depot and Discovery Golf Carts. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers and incentives. We got a couple of hot properties here. 1010 Bay Esplanade is one of my listings on Clearwater Beach. This is probably one of my favorite listings right now because it's on the north side of Clearwater Beach. You're living amongst millionaires right there, Millionaires Row, and you're walking distance to the beaches. So you're enjoying all the best that Tampa Bay has to offer. The number one beach in the entire world, Clearwater Beach, consistently ranking in the tops of his category. $800,000 gets you in the beautiful home. You got a sky deck there, 3151 square feet, 4 beds, 3 baths, 2-car garage, private apartment, and a private sun deck at 1010 Bay Esplanade, Clearwater Beach. Beautiful property available for you here. Also, 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue, Newport Richey. Another waterfront beauty. Bring your boat, bring your jet skis, enjoy your private dock and bay access and fishing in Tampa Bay at 6128 Oak Ridge Avenue in Newport Richey. Great buying opportunity. Almost an acre of land on the waterfront. Check it out at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And we got a great lineup for you here today. Quick shout out also to a longtime friend of the program, Warwick Dunn Charities. On Monday, they were at home presentation over in Largo, and they did home presentation number 182. 182 homes now that his charitable organization has helped single parents gain home ownership, and we've had the pleasure of interviewing Warwick over the years. So shout out to Warwick Dunn Charities and Mr. Warwick Dunn himself as a former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Atlanta Falcon, current owner, part owner of the Atlanta Falcons as well. Doing good things. That's what we talk about, that feel-good story of the day and that random act of kindness. That's some good stuff right there. So we got a great lineup for you here today. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance on the show. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. And Paulee Bowin here as well, author, artist, and she has Paulee's Art by the Sea. So we're going to talk to those folks here in just a moment. But I want to bring up a transition here. I want to talk about a tweet that was sent out. Interesting tweet that we have here. If we could throw that up there, Jonathan, that Robert Reich quote. He did a tweet to at Elon Musk, basically trying to, a negative tweet towards Elon. And it says, Tesla forced all workers to take a 10% pay cut from mid-April until July. In the same time period, Tesla's stock skyrocketed and CEO Elon Musk's net worth quadrupled from $25 billion to over $100 billion. Musk is a modern-day robber baron. Okay, that's Robert Reich. And again, he was under the Clinton administration and a couple other administrations as well. Elon Musk replies, all Tesla workers also get stock, so their compensation increased proportionately. You are a modern-day moron. I mean, it just shows you that some of these people, especially, the far left, and what did he actually build in his lifetime when you think about a Robert Reich, right? And then look at what Elon's built. He's built SpaceX, multiple companies, PayPal. And it's capitalism. It's all about capitalism, building jobs. So, Doug, let me transition to Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance.
Hey, man, I love the tweet back from Elon. That's spot on. And it's so easy to criticize. It's hard to do. And that's what I see just in general. And so for all those that are, there's small business owners on this show right now that are you're interviewing, Brandon, and so many that we know in the listening audience. And it's always easy to criticize and spend other people's money. That's for sure, right? So exactly. I give a lot of credit to our fellow small business owners out there, or self-employed, or sales, or side hustlers, or all that, and just keep on keeping on. That's right, and you got your insurance side hustle as well. It's a great idea on your part. You're written up in several different magazines and online publications about it. Tell us about that insurance side hustling. Great opportunity. We the idea about a year ago and said, hey, how can we kind of open our arms wider and bring more people into the business? We believe what we do is actually a great business, right? Not as fun, not as sexy necessarily about what Thomas does or Paulee certainly, but it's practical. Everybody needs it. Everybody budgets for it. It's something you can really help people with. Confusing, they don't understand, on and on and on. So the technology and structure is in place here at our agency. So we've had about 75 people come through so far, which has been great. Some people have had no background in insurance. I love to share we've had as young as 19 who was a dog walker who got licensed, started selling some policies, and as old as 83 who was retired and looking for something part-time to do, and everywhere in between. And so it's just a great opportunity to come on board and really help people with something that's, again, a practical need, earn some great income while doing it. We provide the training, the structure, the support, and so we're having a lot of fun with it. People can check this out, by the way, at insurancesidehustling.com. So insurancesidehustling.com, you can see all the info and set up a meeting with me if you're interested.
InsuranceSideHustling.com, TampaBayInsurance.com as well. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance. Always a pleasure, my friend. Let's get a parting word of wisdom from you before we let you go. Top nuggets of
Man, I'm going to go with one I've shared before, but it's such a good one. And in this just day and age of there's so much animosity out there, is where are you serving, right? And Zig Ziglar's got a great line. He says you can have everything else. You can have everything in life you want if you help other people get what they want. So think about how you can go help somebody else get what they want today and watch what happens.
I love it. Good stuff. Get a review. Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, and InsuranceSideHustling.com. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate you, man.
You got it, Brandon. You guys have a blessed day. See ya.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
brother. You too.
Thanks, Doug.
All right. So that was Doug Levi, Strategic Insurance, longtime friend of the program. Get a review. It's a great idea. You could save some money, and he's got some great stories of that as well. So I want to transition over to Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Thomas, oh, man, it seems like we're living in the Twilight Zone. You got people walking up, just ambushing cops, shooting cops.
It's a mad world out there. I wonder if Doug Levi offers mob insurance.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I think that'd be something I'd pick up today.
Yeah, you think about it, it's unbelievable. You got to be careful, especially in some of the, New York City. You're trying to have a nice dinner or eat out with your family on the patio area, and then they walk up to you and start throwing your drinks around. It's just unbelievable.
I don't know how that gets you to support their side. I mean, maybe that's a new tactic to me, but when someone like breaks my windows or attacks me, I'm not going to benefit your side there. I'm actually going to probably walk away from it. So I don't see how that's helping them in this situation. But right now, that's what we do. We do all kinds of self-defense classes. We also teach firearm classes. We have 20-something instructors, and we have 40 different types of classes, and we love what we do. So we all put this together as, hey, affordable, amazing firearm training, and that's what you can find at FFATampa.com. Sign up for any one of our classes. But one thing I did want to ask you, Brandon, was, with the election coming up and the outcome of however it turns out, how will that really affect the real estate market? Because I know you are one of the leading experts out there.
Well, I look at what the stated agendas are, and you look at the spending, the increased spending from the Biden camp, and it's unbelievable the spending that's going to happen. I think, interestingly enough, here in Tampa Bay, I think we're going to be good either way, just because it's such a hot market. People want to be here. It's Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, Palm Harbor, Bradenton, Sarasota. I mean, we live in the best place in the country to be at,
right.
Especially more and more people figuring that out as we go.
Do you think more people will move to Florida if Biden is elected?
I think it's a trend that's unstoppable. When
right.
you have states like New York, New Jersey, California, the top three, they're losing people day after day. So I think positioned here in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, we're in the best place to be.
They're paying cash for property here.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming down by the dozens a day.
Cash money. People that are stuck in condos in Chicago. I mean, look at all the shootings in Chicago.
Right.
Every weekend, it's 50 plus.
Right. With that happening right now, that's why so many people's getting firearm training and everything. I don't know if you know who Candace Owen is, and her new book came out, Blackout. I mean, that right there is something that I want to go pick up today, because what she really is preaching out there is letting people know. And you had this on your show a little bit ago about the American dream. It's for everybody, and you can achieve it. And you know what? Just Obama being in office, voted in twice for 8 years. Anybody can have the American dream. You just have to live it. You got to stay away from the negativity. You have to believe in yourself, and don't let anyone put you down. And that's like with Pauline here today. Paulee, she's coming out with her new book, something positive, and that's what I love to see is positive. And that's what I wanted to talk to you today about a little bit about was, I want you to think back in time a little bit. I want you to think back to that one date that you had, your first date.
Yeah.
Are we going to commercial right now?
We're going to commercial.
Okay, I'll come back right after that.
Well, that's okay. Thomas King, he's got a great lineup for you here as well. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy. Paulee Bowin, author, artist, right here on the second half of the show. Plus, our feel-good story of the day. Every day we're telling you something positive here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. 12-year-old boy cured of sickle cell disease after stem cell transplant. Stay with us right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right through the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
Alrighty, everybody, stand by, please.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We're a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay, helping you understand your buying decisions inside and out, of course, with real estate related companies as well. But also outside of that scope, we've expanded it. We're going into 80 different categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, helping you win in any marketplace, as we say. And we'd love for you to reach out. Any questions, comments? We've got 8 different attorneys associated with the show. Lots of great attorneys, everything from estate planning, family law, personal injury law, workers' comp. So many ways that we help you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All you have to do is reach out to the hotline, call or text 813-750-0550. That's our consumer advocate hotline, 813-750-0550. And we'd love to give a shout out to our hotel partner right on the beach. It's Bilmar Beach Resort over on Treasure Island, Florida. And I love visiting that place. It's just an awesome resort. And as resorts go and hotels go, only 90, not many can say 90% of the rooms overlook the beaches, and the Bilmar Beach Resort does. They've got 90% of their rooms overlooking the beach, 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant, Treasure Island, Florida, Bilmar Beach Resort. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, a couple of hot listings here. I got a business opportunity. How about my investors, my attention builder developers out here? 8001 U.S. Highway 301 in Riverview. This is known as the Riverview Sandwich Shop. It's available. It's a great opportunity. They've been operational for almost 40 years out there, and it is a 301. Right on 301, you've got a busy intersection, 50,000 vehicles a day going by, so you've got your traffic built in right there. 2 commercial buildings on site, 4181 square feet, 33 parking spaces, and just a busy traffic light corner right here in Tampa Bay. We also have waterfront residential property, 520 George Street South. This is on beautiful Lake Tarpon. Lake Tarpon is one of the largest lakes in all of Central Florida, 2,500 plus acres. And you've got a single family home with a mother-in-law suite and a private boat dock right on the waterfront at 520 George Street South, Tarpon Springs. Listed right around $460,000 for over 3,600 square feet on the waterfront. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right. So Thomas King, we're going back to Thomas King here. Coming up, Paulee Bowin as well, author and artist on the show. But Thomas, you were about to make a pretty cool point, it sounded like.
So, I wanted to argue the fact why shooting is one of the best sports out there. And, it's been Olympic sports for hundreds of years. But also, I want you to think back in time a little bit to when you first, some of you may have to think back a little bit longer, but you first went on your first date. You remember how exciting it was and nervous and scared and amazing? Or maybe the first time you drove a car, nervous, scared, exciting, or the first time, your first day on your job, is all that, all those feelings.
Yeah.
Those are the feelings that are amazing, and it's hard to get because you grow older and you don't have those feelings as much. But that's how I feel every time I teach or instruct a class, or when I go out and I do practicing shooting. And we have so many people that come in 3 times, 5 times, or even daily to come in to shoot firearms with us. Just every day they come in, and these are mainly doctors, attorneys. It's just basically everyone, young professionals that are getting into this sport, and not just because of the sport and how fun and exciting and and a stress reliever it is, it's because of also self-defense, and many people want to learn self-defense. So when I go out on the range and I'm walking through and I'm looking at everyone just having a good time, I'm noticing that 95% of them, they shoot a gun, they're hitting the target, but they're not shooting correctly. If they just take a class with us, a tactical class on, some of these are running through rooms, shooting bad guys, bowling pins, still targets, balloons. We time you on it, we score you in it, we teach you how to do it. Some of these classes are $40 to $70, but once you learn how to do that, it becomes an amazing, fun sport. And not just for sport, it's also for self-defense.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking with Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, longtime friend of the program. And yeah, it's an Olympic sport. It's interesting. It's self-defense. It's concealed carry. It's so many things, and it's protecting what matters most, your family. In a lot of cases, Thomas, I wanted to ask you this question. You're seeing more and more of these conflicts between Trump supporters, the BLM, everybody's clashing. At what point, as a gun owner, are you able to pull and shoot when you feel threatened? What's the point of that? Because I think that's a mistake people may miss.
That is a fine line in many different states on many different laws. So each state is different. You do need to know the laws and where you are and how, if you are legally allowed to carry a firearm. But when I always represent anything about pulling a firearm out, it is only if your life is an immediate threat danger.
Right.
So if someone's just yelling at you or cut you off the road, you know what? You're going to be the one going to jail for showing a firearm. So don't do it. If your life is threatened and your immediate life is in danger, then you do have to protect yourself, depending on what state you're in, I guess.
Yeah, exactly, because there was that one incident that happened. I forgot if it was Arizona, Nevada. I believe it was out west. And, he was kind of getting waylaid by multiple people, and then he kind of leaned back, pulled, and just started shooting. And I think, I'm not sure how that happened there, but that's a situation that can happen.
Right. And if his life was in danger, well, then he was protecting himself. The sad part and scary part is where I see all this going. If this doesn't stop, these riotings, you're going to have people getting really mad, and they're going to be doing things that, they're going to be fed up with it. And that's not the way that this should end, because that will be a lot of bloodshed. But when you're seeing officers getting executed in the streets for no reason at all, when I saw that video, the only thing I could think about was that the lady, that officer that was shot, her poor kids. She's a mom.
Yep.
They're watching this. Don't they have any remorse for, family? When we say Black Lives Matter, we really need to remember that all life is precious. You cannot blame an officer that did an evil thing to a person to blame all of them. That's just ridiculous. If we all did that for every race, every color, every sex, it would be a world of chaos.
Yeah, and if you listen and actually study and don't fall for the liberal media, unfortunately, a lot of the TV media, as we know it, ABC, CBS, the people who they are, CNN, they're so slanted, they're so liberal, but they've got programming. They're programming these young people to think, oh, well, wow, it does sound like it should be. But I was listening to Larry Elder the other night. He's a Salem radio show host, and he was talking, he just laid it out as far as the stats. If you look at the statistics, the number of incidents that cops have to deal with every year, the number of incidents that it ends up being a weapon pulled on them or vice versa. So it's an interesting scenario, but if you actually look at the numbers and the statistics, it's a very small, minor part of this, of the whole scene.
Absolutely. I wouldn't say minor, but the one thing that they really should emphasize on is that the officers every day, millions of times a day, have saved lives, kids' lives. They don't think about running in to a bad guy robbery. They don't care about your race, your color, your sex, your religion. They're going in there risking their lives every day to save yours. And those are the amazing people that take this career opportunity. They don't get paid a lot of money. I mean, they're not doing it for the money. If they got paid as much as even football players, then, well, maybe a lot more would do it just for the money. But they don't get crap for money these days. So it's scary.
Yeah, exactly. Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And unfortunately, a lot of high-level police officers and folks that are in the administration side, they're quitting. They're saying, hey, they're throwing their hands up. They're saying we can't do this anymore.
Well, they're getting attacked by not only social media, but I do blame the media, the mainstream media. They're they're putting this out there to, it fits their narrative. They want to take away firearms after the shooting of these officers. Joe Biden went out and said that we need to take away the firearms. Well, you know what? Why don't you take away the bad guys? Why don't you take away the firearms from the bad guys? It's not going to happen. They're always going to have firearms no matter what. You can ban every firearm in the world, but bad guys will always have firearms. You're just taking away the rights for good people to defend themselves.
Yeah, it's literally like the Twilight Zone, and sometimes when you see what and hear what people are saying, even and they're emboldening these younger generations they're programming them to hate cops.
It is. It's the way that I'm still mad about the seatbelt laws. Okay, I'm going to go back to that. You know what? I get seatbelts saved lives, right? But it's so ironic because if that's what your whole goal is here, to save lives, well, make people wear helmets, make them put roll bars in their car. Why don't you take it a step further? It's just to constantly put things on you that your freedoms, your rights that you have to take away to mold you into believing that our country is a racist society. It's just not true. I mean, are there racist people? Yeah, absolutely. Are there great people? Absolutely. Biden was elected twice, or Obama was elected twice in there, and that was from all the people that loved what he did. You have many people. You can do your American dream. Just be you. Focus on you. Do good things, and good things will happen to you. That's as easy as it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. It's every 4 years we have this divisive cycle that happens. That's what's so sad about it. In the middle of those 4 years, we're getting along pretty well. People, and if you have a barbecue at your house, you got all types of different people there. So it's not. Anyways, we'll come back to that. But Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, Paulee Bowin. She's an author and an artist. And Paulee's Art by the Sea. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. She's got a book release coming out as well. 2 books coming out. Also, our feel-good story of the day. We're going to tell you something good here. 12-year-old boy cured of sickle cell disease after stem cell transplant. Stay with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group. And you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253.
Check out ConsumerQB.com.
Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, helping you win in your real estate deals, buying, selling, or investing. We are a top 1% rated real estate team here in Tampa Bay, certified negotiation expert, feng shui design as well with our team. And this segment is brought to you by Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving, whether you're planning a local or long-distance move, reach out to Brothers Easy Moving. Let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. A couple of hot listings for this segment. We've got property here. How about 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa? This is in Carrollwood, one of the most desirable areas in all of Tampa Bay. Carrollwood, Tampa Bay. You've got 12208 Four Oaks Road. This is acreage that you can build and develop on. Listed at around $1.8 million. You've got 5 acres with a small, it's got a single family home on it, but it's land value basically. What we're looking at here is R9 zoning, 40 units here potentially for a development opportunity. 12208 Four Oaks Road in Tampa. And we have a lot of other vacant land listings as well if you're looking to build, buy and build. We've got about 15 to 20 different vacant land listings as well. So check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. And it's time for our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
All right, so you got a 12-year-old boy in Indianapolis has been cured of sickle cell disease thanks to a bone marrow donor. Elliot was born with sickle cell disease, an inherited blood disease which leads to blockages that prevent blood from reaching parts of the body. Because of sickle cell, Elliot was always a kid who struggled with energy levels and stamina, and he got dehydrated very easily, said his mom. When he was younger, he played sports a lot, but then he'd get too cold from the sickle cell, and that's when he started quitting all his sports teams, soccer and baseball, Elliot said. 1 year ago, Elliot received a stem cell transplant at Riley Hospital for Children at IU Health. Now doctors say he's completely free of the disease. He said he can't wait to get back to playing the sports that he once loved. All right, there's our feel-good story of the day. Let's welcome Paulee Bowin back into the show and here. You love those feel-good stories, though, right?
I love those, and thank you for having me.
Hey, my pleasure. So tell us a little bit about your journey. What's going on lately? And you've got your Paulee's Art by the Sea.
Yes, so I've been doing seashell artwork and other artwork for about 7 years in this area and selling to local shops and online. And so a couple years ago, I illustrated and wrote a children's book, and it's on Amazon. It's called The Girl Who Sings the Alphabet Backwards. And then came up with another plan for a children's book called Mermaid Logic, and ended up working with some wonderful publishers now publishing in the area. And so not only is there a children's book getting ready to launch in November, but there's also a women's empowerment book.
Where'd you come up with the title, The Girl That Sings the Alphabet Backwards?
I don't know. I can do it backwards, so I just thought I'd name the book that, and then it turned into, I don't know, a little girl who goes to the Gulf of Mexico and saves some sea turtles.
Cool.
Yeah, but she sings the alphabet backwards, and it's just a quirk.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So what was your did you grow up at the beach or by the sea? Like, is that your inspiration for a lot of your artwork?
Well, I grew up in Kansas, moved here about 9.5 years ago, and I've always loved mermaids and the ocean, so I guess that's what's been inspiring me.
Cool. That's awesome. So you've got your 2 books coming up, and you're doing a book release at the Tampa Club.
Right, November 19th, so both books will launch that evening. And along the lines of feel good, one of the lines from my book, and I firmly believe this, is just because you aren't living your exact idea of your dream or what you think success is, it doesn't mean that you aren't successful, and it doesn't mean give up.
Nice. Say that again. I like that.
Just because you aren't living your exact idea of what success is or what your exact dream is, it doesn't mean you're not successful.
Right. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're not there yet, right? It's more of I look at it when you look at goal setting and you look at achieving goals and results, it's rungs on the ladder. You know,
right.
It's like you're going up that ladder. You got each rung up the ladder. You're making your way towards the top. Who knows where the 40, 50, 60-year-old version, a 70-year-old version of yourself, people are living a lot longer, by the way, if you take care of your body. So if you're on that journey, it's just important to keep taking that one step forward and just keep improving every day.
Absolutely. And one story I like to tell is that I tried to get into modeling when I was a lot younger, and I was always told I was too short. And so I turned 50 this last year. I'm 51 now, but I started getting more modeling jobs than ever at age 50. So it's never too late. It's never too late. And of course, started writing books at age 49 and illustrating. So I never thought I would be doing that. I don't know. There's lots of dreams that we can still have. And I was listening to Doug Levi say that people in their 80s are going to insurance school.
Yeah.
And I've been to insurance school. I have my 220 also. So again, you're never too old to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think one of the things too is to make sure you understand as you're taking this journey through life is you're not in competition with others. You're in competition. If you look at it like you're in competition with yourself, and you're just trying to be a better person every day, or read more books, listen to more podcasts, or however you bring in your information, I think that's such an important part today is that we live in the best time to be alive as a human being, despite what a lot of the geopolitical stuff, things happening out there amidst the pandemic. It's the best time to be alive because you can control your future. You can bring in new information, new perspectives, and you can really live the American dream, whatever that dream is for you. For some people, it's entrepreneurship. Some people, it's home ownership, owning a business. The entrepreneurship, the American dream is something different for everyone.
Exactly. The other thing I was thinking is, and it's in the book, is stop comparing yourselves to others, because you have to sparkle in your own way. So that falls right in line because you have to forge your own way. So if you want to be in insurance and be an artist on the side, who says you can't? If you want to host a radio show and sell houses,
right on.
Who says you can't? You can do so many things. You're not just one compartmentalized individual. So I enjoy not fitting in one compartment. I like having different hats and doing different things.
Well, Paulee, that's a great point you make, is that you can do things part-time today. Go back 2 generations, 3 generations, our grandparents, they couldn't do that. They worked 9 to 5 in the factory or in the fields or whatever. They came home, they tried to rest up because they were going to go hit it hard the next day. Mm-hmm. Now you could come home, the question is, how bad do you want it? A lot of times I coach people getting into real estate and they say, oh, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make $100,000. I say, well, how bad do you want it? And I say, well, can you work that open house for us on Saturday or Sunday afternoon or Sunday? Oh, I can't. I got to do this. Okay. I thought you wanted it. But you can do part-time stuff now. What are you doing from 7 to 11 every night? Right? Is that your leisure time? You sitting back, you watching the different negative news networks or the favorite show, or are you putting in sweat equity into your future?
Exactly. And my brain doesn't shut off. I actually now have to schedule times to shut my brain off because I'm always thinking of, the next endeavor. And, just started another one. It's called Mertunes by Tim and Paulee. I teamed up with another artist. He's a fantastic caricature artist and does portraits. He's faster at it than I am and really fantastic. So we have a thing where you send your picture to us and we draw you into a mermaid or a merman if that applies. So that's another cool thing we're doing. So I've got all these little projects everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, it's time for our lightning round.
The lightning round!
I am so good at lightning rounds!
I majored in lightning.
All right, here we go. We got top tips, nuggets of advice, parting words of wisdom. Let's let Thomas King go first. That way you can think of yours, Paulee. Top tips.
The first thing I like to say for my top tip is the meaning of life isn't some super secret. The meaning of life is just use your short time here wisely on this planet and to help each other out. I mean, it's that simple, and become the hero that you always wanted to be. And if you can do that, your life is going to be so much better for you and for everyone else, because we're only here for a short time on this small rock. So make sure you're having fun, make sure you're enjoying life, make sure you're helping each other out.
That's right. I love it. Be a force for good in the community. All right, top tips, parting words of wisdom, Paulee Bowin.
Don't change who you are even while swimming amongst the sharks. Just find a different way to cross the ocean. And you're going to encounter sharks in every walk of life. People at work, people at play. And it gets weirder and weirder all the time. But stay who you are. Stay with good character. And you'll succeed and help others, of course.
Absolutely. I
Land
love that
sharks.
Land sharks.
Yeah. All right, so money's not everything. That's one thing I wanted to lead with is of course, money's not everything. But the interesting caveat to that is that it seems like almost everyone wants to find out on their own, how important money is, right? So when you think about if you ever wanted to calculate your hourly rate, right, desired your annually income, right? I want to make $100,000, for example, some say. Okay, so if you divide $100,000 by 2,000 hours, that's the average working hours in a year. Divide that number, it comes out to about $50 an hour. So every hour on the hour during your work period, you have to be producing $50 per hour in order to make $100,000 in income. So then I take it to the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. What are the 20% of key tasks that you can focus on as a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you do, and that's going to contribute to 80% of your success? That's how you got to think about it, and that's the key, is focusing on the vital few, what Pareto principle outlined as the vital few. And you want to eliminate time wasters, get rid of social media if you have to, and focus on sales, focus on growing your business. And that's the way you can do it, is calculating it, reversing it, work backwards, and then figure out, this is what I need to do every day. That's, as Gary Keller says, my one thing. What is my one thing right now? Okay, that's the focus. So, hey, another great show. I want to thank all of our expert contributors, Doug Levi, Thomas King, Paulee Bowin. Awesome stuff. Great team behind the scenes as well. I want to thank all of our producers, James, John, Jose, the whole team back there helping us out, helping us look good. We always want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community, and continue to follow our show. We'd love for you to connect with us at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram and Twitter, Consumer Quarterback Show page, and Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.